Have you ever wondered why some people naturally command attention the moment they enter a room, while others struggle just to be noticed? Why certain individuals can influence everyone around them, make people listen carefully to every word they say, and somehow always manage to get exactly what they want? The truth is, it's not because they are lucky, attractive, or born different. It's because they understand psychology. Human behavior follows patterns, and those who understand these patterns know how to influence emotions, shape thoughts, and control the way people respond without ever using force. The world's most powerful leaders, speakers, businessmen, and influencers understand one simple truth. If you understand the human mind, you understand power. And once you begin learning how people truly think, react, and behave, you'll start seeing these patterns everywhere around you. The first psychological principle is reverse psychology, and it works because human beings naturally hate being controlled. The moment someone feels forced to do something, their brain immediately wants to resist. People want freedom, they want control, and they want to feel like their decisions belong to them. That's why telling someone directly what to do often creates resistance, but making them think the decision was theirs removes that resistance completely. For example, if you want someone to help you, saying, "Can you do this for me?" may not work because they might ignore you or simply refuse. But if instead you say, "Forget it, it's okay. I don't think you can handle it anyway," suddenly everything changes. Their ego becomes activated. Their pride kicks in. Now, instead of refusing, they feel the need to prove themselves. They want to show they are capable. They begin doing exactly what you wanted, not because you forced them, but because their own emotions pushed them to act. This is why reverse psychology is so powerful. It doesn't create pressure, it creates desire. The second principle is controlling choices, because most people think they make decisions independently, when in reality they usually choose only from the options placed in front of them. The smartest people know that influence doesn't come from forcing someone toward one decision. It comes from controlling the available options. Imagine asking someone, "Do you want to go out with me?" They can simply say no. But if you ask instead, "Would you rather go now or later?" Now, the question is no longer whether they're going. It's only about choosing the time. You have shifted the frame completely. The person still feels free, but the outcome has already been decided by the options you gave them. This technique is used in sales, politics, business, and even relationships, because the person who controls the options often controls the final decision. This is why advertisements don't say, "Do you want to buy this?" They say things like, "Which package do you want, basic, premium, or deluxe?" Because they understand that giving multiple options increases the feeling of freedom while secretly guiding the buyer toward action. The third principle is emotional pressure, and this works because humans are driven more by emotion than by logic. One of the strongest emotions a person can feel is guilt. Guilt creates pressure inside the mind, forcing people to reflect on their behavior and often change their actions without needing to be asked. If someone repeatedly disappoints you and you angrily confront them, they will likely become defensive and try to justify themselves. But if instead you calmly say, "It's okay, maybe I just expected too much from you," suddenly the situation changes. Rather than defending themselves, they begin questioning their own actions. They start feeling responsible for hurting you. They begin wanting to fix the situation because guilt has made them emotionally uncomfortable. That's the power of emotional pressure. It makes people correct themselves without force. The fourth principle is emotional influence, and this is one of the deepest truths about human behavior. People do not make decisions logically first. They make decisions emotionally first and justify them logically afterward. People think emotions and logic are separate, but in reality, emotion controls most decisions. This is why the best speakers, leaders, and influencers don't simply present facts. They create feelings. They make people feel inspired, excited, angry, hopeful, or motivated because they understand that facts may educate people, but emotions move people. A person may forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel. Think about the greatest speeches in history. They were not remembered because of statistics or facts, but because of the emotions they created in the audience. When people feel emotionally connected to someone, They trust them more, listen more carefully, and follow them more easily. If you can make someone feel understood, respected, inspired, or emotionally attached, you gain influence over their decisions because emotions shape behavior more than logic ever can. The final principle is the power of silence, and this may be the most underrated psychological tool of all. Most people think power belongs to the loudest person in the room, but true power often belongs to the quietest person, the one who remains calm, composed, and silent while everyone else is reacting emotionally. Silence creates tension. Silence creates mystery. Silence creates pressure. When someone says something and you respond immediately, there is no tension. But when you pause, stay silent, and simply look at them calmly, it creates discomfort in their mind. Silence forces people to overthink. It makes them wonder what you are thinking. It makes them question themselves. It creates authority because silence shows emotional control, and emotional control signals confidence. Think about when someone powerful walks into a room. They don't usually talk nonstop trying to prove themselves. They speak less, observe more, and choose their words carefully. Their silence makes every word feel more valuable, because when someone rarely speaks, people naturally pay more attention when they do. Silence also works powerfully during conflict. In arguments, the person who remains calm while the other becomes emotional often appears stronger, more mature, and more in control. That calm silence creates pressure on the emotional person and makes them feel weaker in comparison. At the end of the day, understanding psychology is not about manipulating people. It's about understanding how the human mind truly works. The more you understand human behavior, emotions, and decision-making, the more effectively you can communicate, connect, and lead others in every area of life. These psychological principles are used every single day by successful entrepreneurs, politicians, marketers, leaders, and negotiators because they know one thing. People may think they are driven by logic, but most of their actions are shaped by emotion, perception, and subconscious influence. Once you truly understand that, you begin seeing the world differently. You stop looking only at words and start noticing hidden intentions, emotional triggers, and the deeper psychology behind every interaction. And once you understand the mind, you begin to understand real power.